Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. I said before like 2 weeks ago that I was going to at least put in 100 hours into the multiplayer, and actually into the game in general, because there's more than just the multiplayer that I wanted to get into. And I can confidently say that this is probably the most I've ever grinded for any Call of Duty game ever. And now for me as a player who's fairly new to Call of Duty, I mean I joined back in Black Ops 3, that's a really good thing. A game should keep its players entertained and should definitely have something for them to chase after. But for reasons we'll get into in our first, I guess, subject, this Call of Duty makes it so hard just to do simple stuff. And so like I said before, I've tried to put in 100 hours over the past like week or so that the game has been out. I've been roughly keeping track of my hours, and also at the end of most sessions I've just been writing down stuff in my notebook on things I didn't like about the game, things I thought were good about the game. I've been trying out different game modes like ground war and invasion, as well as that new mode prison rescue. That thing is like really fun actually. So we'll touch on all that in a little bit. The first thing though I want to really talk about, and it's the most annoying thing about this game, it's the Gunsmith. Now I'm sure those of you who have the game and who have seen people play the game, you've seen or even heard people talk about this yourself. The way they did it this year makes putting attachments on your guns so much more harder than it needs to be. So for those of you who are unaware, the Gunsmith this year is different in the sense that the way you'll unlock attachments on guns is by leveling up other guns. There was a blue dot sight for the TAC 56 that you'll probably see me play with in the background gameplay. To get that exact sight, I had to play with, get this, a shotgun. I had to level it up to level 7. It's called the Expedite 12. I don't know in what world it makes sense to have a requirement to level up a shotgun for an AR sight. Like, it really doesn't make any sense why I have to even touch a shotgun for an attachment that I'm not using on a shotgun. And understand that it unlocks the specific sight that you're going for, or the specific attachment that you're going for every gun. And look, I understand that's pretty cool, right? But you could have done it another way. Destiny has this similar issue where every season they release these seasonal mods for the artifact where they will literally choose which weapons you'll have to play with for that season, or else you'll be struggling in the Nightfalls, in the Grandmaster Nightfalls, because you don't want to play with that certain weapon. The way you fix that is by having a general mod. I've been saying this for years, by just having a general mod so you can use multiple different weapons to defeat those enemies. Now back to COD, the way you can fix this is by going back to the same system that you had in, I don't know, every other COD. Like for example, for me in Black Ops Cold War, it was really simple to level up guns. I was able to get the certain attachments that I wanted just by playing with the guns. And of course, if I wanted to use another gun, I'd have to do the same thing and level it up all the way until I got the attachments that I wanted. It was nice and simple back then when I could just do that and be happy. Now in this game, it's ruined, and there are even some attachments that they won't even tell you how to unlock them. Like for example, the Slimline Pro sight, no one knows how to fucking get that. Like nobody knows how to get it. And it seems like a really good sight to use. And unfortunately, I had to settle for grinding for the current sight that you see me use now, but I'm pretty sure you can kind of get my point, right? It shouldn't be this hard. And it's just really confusing to me that leveling up a gun to level 20 to max level will only get you about 3 optic attachments, and all of them are shit. Like, you might as well just not run an optic attachment. That's better than having a damn sniper scope on an AR. Another thing people have been making noise about is like the movement in the game. I understand that it differs every couple of years, but I'll be honest, like I don't really hate it. Dolphin diving is fun even though I don't do it too often. It's still cool to have the option there. And I think something that a lot of people need to understand is that this game is now made for casuals, and that, you know, that slows the game down a lot. And honestly, the game has been made for casuals for a while now. So at this point, I'm pretty much used to it. And I guess, I mean, you can get more kills because people aren't just like zipping across the map. So that's really it on movement. I don't have too much to say on that. I just really don't hate it, or at least not as much as other people in the community do. Although I do wish that bunny hopping was still a thing, because I mean, you really can't do that anymore. Your momentum is just gone after you aim down sights. You can't really jump anymore. So I don't really know why they took that out. But moving on to the maps in the game, and the map situation with this game is just so funny. Firstly, let's talk about the fact that there are 9 maps in the game right now that you can actually go ahead and play. There's supposed to be 10, but Museum, apparently Activision didn't get the licensing rights from the Getty Museum, which is what that's based off of. And we all thought that it was going to get like revamped for actual 6v6, because the problem in the beta was that it was too big, and I didn't honestly really mind it. Like, yeah, it was a lot of space, but I mean, I didn't perform bad on the map. But you know, we all thought it was going to get smaller and come back at launch. but nope, it didn't really come back. It's still out of the game. And also, let's talk about Crown Raceway. Apparently that map was supposed to have all this NASCAR stuff in it, and NASCAR actually got on their case about it, threatened to sue, and then they ended up fixing it before launch. So that's why you can actually play it and why there's not 8 maps in the game. And wouldn't you know it, there's even news about the hotel map that actually is one of my favorite maps in the game currently. There's even rumors about that getting taken out of the game because apparently Activision used an Amsterdam hotel as kind of inspiration, and you know, it looks just like it. So I believe they threatened to sue as well. And you know, this kind of makes me think about a problem that Activision was called out for and is actually still being called out for back in Vanguard. It was actually a couple of months ago where they stole the likenesses and images from different artists and put their images in the game as operator skins, and didn't give any credit to any of those artists that they stole from. And so it's sort of like, bro, whoever's doing this, stop doing this shit. Like it's ruining the game. You're not only ruining your reputation at Activision and bringing down the rep of Call of Duty, to be honest, but you're also shooting yourself in the foot financially because you're potentially costing yourself millions of dollars. And you know, I don't care how many billions you make, if you're stupid enough to not care that you're losing millions even though you're a billion-dollar company and you're willing to continuously take hits financially, like it's gonna catch up to you one day and you're gonna wonder why you're out of money. Anyways, those were like the main issues that I first had with the game, and those were the things that I first took notes on. And let's touch on skill-based matchmaking just a little bit. This is something that's supposed to be in literally every game because it has to cater to casuals. And I mean, like, guys, let's face it, casuals are most of the player base of literally every game. You know, not everybody's gonna be like Scump or any of the FaZe members, right? So like, it's kind of something that you should already expect. And I'll admit, I didn't really understand the whole situation and why it was such a problem until I hopped in a lobby with one of my friends who admittedly is more skilled than me and has a higher KD than me. Like, his lobby was fucking insane. So I mean, I do understand a bit of the frustration, but at the same time, I did kind of get better from those couple of games. I noticed that after I hopped out of that lobby and went into my regular games, my decision making was better. I was more patient. I checked corners more. So I guess my conclusion to that whole skill-based matchmaking situation is don't run outside of cover and be all aggressive, because that's not what the game is for now. It punishes aggressive players, obviously, so you just have to be more patient. And no, I'm not saying like sit down in a corner somewhere with a fucking riot shield like one of those damn people. All I'm saying is take your time with the guns that you have, alright? And if you're thinking about getting too overly aggressive with a kill, make sure you absolutely know that you can secure that kill and then get back to cover if you want a chance at activating those kill streaks. Okay, so now we have a little bit of a shorter segment where we could talk about invasion, ground war, prison rescue. And so right off the bat, the first thing that you can already do, ground war and invasion, just combine those two. They're quite literally the same thing. I deadass hopped into my first match of ground war and was like, did I hop into invasion or something? Like, this is the same thing. There's literally no difference other than, like, I guess you could say that ground war is more sweaty just because I think there's no bots in that game mode. So it's just like actual people that you're killing. But yeah, like, I mean, that whole ground war thing is taking up too much space. So honestly, you could just get rid of that entire game mode altogether and give us like 4 new multiplayer maps that you actually have permission to use. But honestly, the good side of Invasion is that it honestly feels like there's a war going on, and I really do like playing the game mode. And if I could compare it to any game, I mean, it's obviously going to be Battlefield 2042, right? If anything, you could just say it's like a Battlefield 2042 with just as many bots, but more real people, so there's less wait in between matches. And here's a quick side note, like, I don't want anybody watching this video to get me wrong. I do love what they're doing with these featured game modes. It kind of makes Modern Warfare 2 distinct from the other Modern Warfare, from my perspective at least. And like, I don't think I've said this in the beginning of the video or in the video at all, but like, I'm actually having fun playing this game, which is why I'm kind of being passionate in this video, is because I really want this game to reach its full potential. Anyways, like I said before, Invasion is basically just a better version of Battlefield 2042, and there's not too many things that I can actually say bad about this game mode. Now, as for third person, I'm told that they had it in the original Modern Warfare 2. However, that's something I didn't play, so I don't really have any memories of it. But this Modern Warfare 2, I guess, it honestly just reminds me of like a realistic Fortnite. And I know some of you guys might think Fortnite is cringe, but that's kind of what it felt like playing for the first time. And I can only assume that this is Activision's way at trying to capitalize on the third person shooter market. And it's kind of like, hey, we're known for FPS, but we could also do this too. And to be honest, it just kind of felt like another PUBG, I guess. Now for the other one that I actually enjoyed playing the first time, which was Prison Rescue. Prison Rescue was actually really fun. It kind of had that search and destroy feel which I was never too keen on playing in other Call of Duty titles, but I really do like what they did here and kind of switched it up to where you don't have to disarm a bomb, and getting all the prisoners away from the other team successfully ends the match. And now that I think about it, I think that this is actually one of the game modes that I could really watch competitively if they were to set it up like that in a tournament. Oh yeah, and one more thing about Ground War before we go. When I played the first time, it was the only time I ever crashed in Modern Warfare. Like, I kid you not, I lasted like 5 minutes and then my game crashed. So yet another reason to get rid of this game mode. That's going to be it for me today, guys. If you did enjoy, hit that like button. If you didn't, well, I hope some of my other content will make you laugh. I'll see you guys in the next one. Sub up, stay safe, and peace.